So when we first got there, his fever was 101.8. I'm so, I don't even know where to begin. Oh my God. His feet is what I find the coldest. I don't know if I should burp him because he had a spinal tap, so it's like, is it bruised? Like... Hi, Bella. Let's see. You're getting your IV? I know. He's getting his medicine right now, his antibiotics, but he's so cold, his hand, so it's like I'm trying to keep him wrapped up. I know. It's sad because he literally wants me to just hold him. He just has cords, and it's like hard for me to hold him. And he's literally attached to this box. Oh, he's just chilling now. It's so crazy how like much they adapt to just this. Like he has cords on his belly and his foot and in his hand, and he has the medicine going, and he's just laying there. And I just feel like at home he would never just, I don't know. They haven't come back with any results yet, which they were supposed to before his medicine at 2. It's now 3 and he just got his medicine, so I think they're pretty busy. But as soon as they come back with the results, I will update you guys to know if we figured out what was wrong. But they pretty much told me that odds are, because of how healthy he is, and they don't think that because of how healthy he looks, they don't think it's like the serious problems that they're testing for, and it could just be like a simple bacteria that he got in him. It's so cold in this room. I have a thick sweater, thick sweats, and socks, and I'm still cold. He keeps pooping because of how much medicine and saline and breast milk is just going in him. Earlier when I wanted to go get the coffee, I put him to bed, I swaddled him in his swing, and I went out there and I was like, can someone watch my baby while I go get a coffee? And the nurse was like, oh, you gotta like put him in the crib or something. Either put him in the crib or strap him in, like no one could come watch him. And then one of the nurses like, no, I can go do my paperwork in there and I'll go do it. So that was really nice, because if I would have put him in the crib, he would have just cried, and then I would have literally been running to get my coffee. But I felt more enjoyable about it. But my point about it is, it's like a family here. It's just so crazy. You know, everyone's just trying to help everyone, and they wanted to bring me rocking chairs, and they brought me a swing. Like, these people are just so on it. Oh my God, it just goes on its own, and I've been setting 45-minute timers all night. You click this button here, it sets a timer. I thought that's how it turned on. Wow. You got 8 minutes. Right there it says he has 8 minutes left. That's it. You're all done, and hopefully it's your last. I've strapped him in so I could give myself a complete wipe down bath. I feel like I'm in the show Survivor. You know, when you're bathing yourself with bath wipes and washing your face and drying it with paper towels. It's just, I feel so dirty, but I am grateful for bath wipes. They have this like aloe vera on it, and it's making like it feels sticky, so I like went in and tried to re-wipe with just water, and it's still just not doing the business. Mace slept through the night amazingly, except we have this annoying beeper that it's pretty much going off because it can't read his pulse, and that's just if he moves, and it's like of course he's gonna move, so of course it's gonna not be able to constantly pick it up. Still waiting on the results. We were supposed to get them back yesterday. They told me they're gonna give it to me within an hour, and then they came back like 4 hours later and said that they only get updated on results once a day, and if something changes then they would let us know. So no changes, good, you know, good news. But still, like, I had to ask. I had spit up on my shirt. It's actually hilarious. And this is my only jacket. Kikoa forgot to pack me an additional jacket. It had spit up all over it, so I cleaned it off. You can't tell, but it was right here. And I'm letting it like air dry in the cold, right? I'm so bummed because I made a list for him of things to bring me, and so far I found 3 things on the list that he did not bring. I mean, the list was fairly long, like computer, charger, extra charger, camera, headphones, hard drive, which came in such handy. Yesterday I was able to edit a full video every time he slept. It's boring in here. It's truly so boring in here, and we're literally confined to this machine with this little cord, so like Mace cannot walk anywhere. He was supposed to bring me 2 pairs of underwear and he only brought me 1. Shout out to you, babe. I was supposed to get an additional jacket. He forgot my phone charger, but he said that I said not to bring him one, not to bring it anymore because I borrowed one from them. But what he didn't know is they took it right back when the nurse had to go home. So Ayla and Law's godfather dropped one off. He lives fairly close to the hospital. Sounds like my 3-year-old. Hospital. So shout out to you, Jamon. Thank you so much. That came in clutch, because this hospital is so noisy and this room is so quiet. So every little thing like wakes him up. So I was able to play white noise on my phone all night, and I feel like that really helped him sleep well. But you need a bath too. You're full of milk and spit up and procedures and just ugh. Okay. Do you guys hear that? Like, it's so annoying. You would never think changing your child in the morning would be changing their scrub. I know. It's just not fair. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Put your new outfit on. It's a good look on you. Hi. You imagine anything. I'm so happy. I just did my final call to tell them to come pick me and my sweet baby boy up. This is my sweet. It's so cold in this room and I feel so guilty changing him. They took all his IVs and cords and monitors off of him. Do you guys hear it? I'm so happy. So all his, we had like a whole team. It's so crazy because they have all these student doctors as well as doctors. So I literally have 9 people in this room talking to me, just like, Mom, you got any questions? Like updating me. But to make a long story short, they said every single thing came back negative, which is epic and amazing, and I'm just so happy, but my heart just hurts for the amount of things he went through for them all to be negative. In my diaper bag, I always keep 2 warm outfits, like footy pajamas. It's so hot where we live, and even with the AC, like, and wearing like his sleep suit, it's just not doable for him to be in something so warm. So we never have to use like full sleep suits. Oh, look at his body. It breaks my heart. This is where he had his IV. Looks so red. And then his chest, he had the 3 dots. And then his foot was all poked. So if you see, there's like dots everywhere. Okay, little guy. Oh, you are so cute. I've just wanted to wrap him in clothes since I got here. Like, it's been so... Look at how warm you are now. Oh, know this is my first time holding you without all the cords, honey. I've been waiting to end this vlog, and I wanted to come on here and just check in with you guys. This is now a few days later. I have been in a funk, and you know, I just wanted to come on here and end the video with just like giving you guys another piece of my heart. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot to this video. It was quite emotional, and it was actually pretty hard for me to edit. I wanted to immediately start off with that Mace is doing so amazing. Thank you guys for all your prayers and wishes and just keeping him in your thoughts. It's like the day that we brought him home, I keep saying it's like he was never sick, because his attitude never like changed except that one first couple hours before the hospital. As I edited the vlog, I realized there was a lot of pieces I missed, so I just kind of like want to fill you guys in on some things that I didn't mention that I think is a very important part to this story. Not only were we going through a lot with our newborn, we actually were treated pretty horrible by the first doctor's office. His fever was 100.4 here, and when we got to the ER, both retinal, they checked, and when we got there it was 101, so he obviously had an active fever. This child just screamed for 2 hours. He's running a fever. He should be in bed right now because we are sleep training. I understand they just want to get the antibiotics in to help him, but it's like they weren't giving him any rest. I would get him to calm down, he would fall asleep on me, and someone would come in to start a new IV, or someone came in to start the catheter to catch his urine, or someone came in to check his temperature, retinal. Like, it just would not stop for 2 hours. So she like pulled the IV out and just wanted to start a new one instantly, and this is now would be his third one. So they did one in his arm, his foot, and now they want to start a third one. So they ended up getting an IV in his foot. That happened with me. They pinned his leg down, they got it in, KANEOHE got there, and we had switched. He goes, babe, they just started them on the antibiotics and his foot doesn't look good. Like, look at this, it looks white. And I instantly look at it and his foot is swollen huge. Mace is screaming like he is in the most excruciating pain, like the most powerful scream cry I've ever heard coming from this child. And he just sat through a couple IVs of being poked. Like, he was screaming. And I'm just like, oh no. And I just remember just like trying to nurse him. He's refusing to nurse, just screaming, arching his back. A nurse comes in because this ER, like, even when I would leave the door of the ER, I could still hear Mace crying. So they were trying to do the IV when I had left that first time and switched with KANEOHE. So obviously the nurse knew something was wrong. She comes running in and she looks at his foot and goes, oh no, hold on, let me get someone, and runs out. She like pulled the IV out and just wanted to start a new one instantly, and this is now would be his third one. I refuse. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just want him to close his eyes for 30 minutes. You can come back. Look, it's midnight. Like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I'm gonna hold him to sleep for 30 minutes and then we can resume this. I mean, it was so bad that KANEOHE was even crying. Like, he was bawling his eyes out because it was the saddest thing to watch your child go through, especially someone that you think is so fragile and just precious, and you know, they're just so confused on what's going on. They're in this bright lit room with all these people sticking things up his butt and his arms and his It was just awful to watch him endure. So I said, no, I want 30 minutes. She comes back in and said, I just got off the phone with KANEOHE, which is another hospital that's very close by, that's for women and children. And I should have just went there from the very start. And I just feel like my whole experience would have been a lot better. But the reason why I didn't is because this one is closer. And I just thought that we would go there, get some medicine, and go home. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be just so urgent to check everything. I've never brought a newborn to the hospital. So she comes back in, she goes, I just got off the phone with the doctor in charge of the pediatric children's division, and she agrees that we need to start an antibiotic on this child immediately, and we should stretcher you guys in an ambulance to that hospital. And I just looked at her and I go, can I just check myself out right now? And I will drive my son to the hospital. He's now sleeping in my arms. And then all of a sudden, these paramedics comes to our door with a big stretcher table, like for a human. We just aren't like this. We're very like composed people. And, we would never like have an argument, especially with a doctor trying to save our child. KANEOHE was like, no, like, we're not trying to refuse service. We just want him to close his eyes for 30 minutes. And she's like, me and the doctor at KANEOHE, we just agree that he needs to be seen and get an IV, and you're not allowing us to do it here. So we're gonna send you to a specialist that works on babies and can help you. And I go, I honestly wanna do that. Please, thank you, yes. But I just wanna drive myself. I want him to just get a nice rest. He's now sleeping. I could just transfer him to his car seat and we can go. I'm not gonna wake him up again, strap him down, whatever they wanted to do. So KANEOHE and I look at each other and KANEOHE goes, get your stuff. And we literally grabbed our car seat, our bag, our baby, and we left. And we drove ourselves to KANEOHE. And we got there in 25 minutes. Nobody's on the road. The whole point of why we couldn't drive ourselves also is they said we were gonna have to start off at the ER again, get checked, run paperwork, do all of that. Whereas if we went in the paramedics, we could just get checked in immediately. And KANEOHE goes, we can't just get checked in immediately if we just drove ourselves. And she's like, no, no, no. And then that's when he's like, okay, let's get our stuff and let's go. And we left. We get to KANEOHE, we park, we open the door to the ER and we say, hi, we just came from Castle. And they said, oh, do you have mace? Yes. Instantly checked us into a room in the pediatrics division in the hospital immediately. She comes in, she does an evaluation on him, and she goes, the way that she explained that this baby was, this is not what I expected. I would have not needed to get him urgently started on antibiotics. Like, she just was like, I'm so sorry everything you went through. She said, I want you to close your eyes for just a second. I'm going to take your baby. We are going to take him to a specialist that does IVs on babies only. We're gonna retest his blood and then we'll take it from there before we start antibiotics, spinal tap, all that stuff. She brought him back within 10 minutes. He had the IV, he wasn't crying. Like, it was just a totally brand new baby that was just so happy. So when they redid the blood, he actually had higher markers, so it showed that the infection was kind of progressing quicker, and so they still wanted to do the spinal tap and they wanted to finish everything else. Luckily, my son had nothing serious, no meningitis, nothing like that, of all the big scares that they tested him for. But he did have 6 bands. They're like little bubbles that have bands. He had 6 of them, which are white blood cells that only jump in when your body is fighting like a real infection. So he pretty much said that mace was probably fighting an infection for about like a week prior, and babies look good till they look like he said that is so important for me to know, because the moment you start to notice some change in their behavior, it's almost too late, and that is why they test the baby for anything and everything. With that being said, he said that he definitely was fighting some sort of infection. It could have just been a simple infection for having a 3-year-old sticking his fingers in his mouth. It truly was the hardest few days of my entire life. I've never dealt with anything like it before, but I did want to end it at that I feel just such a strong, empowered mom that I needed to go through this in order to handle some of the situations I might be given later on down the road. And I keep reflecting, like, if this were to happen to my 3-year-old or my 5-year-old, like, I couldn't be a crying mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't have been that emotional. I probably would have, but that's not the thing to do when your child's literally looking at you. Is this okay? It was an emotional one, and hopefully I don't have to make a video like this ever again. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm gonna end it here because I'm sure this is a long vlog. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys all in our next video. Bye!